There are processes by which we could actually engage in a large-scale excavation, but what happens then is you have to do remediation. If you destroy or do invasive work in a wetland.
Millions watched them hunt for the world's most famous treasure. But when the digging stopped and the cameras turned off, a new mystery began. Where are they now? Rick Lagina. Rick Lagina has always been the beating heart of Oak Island's mystery. A retired postal worker from Michigan, Rick first read about Oak Island when he was just 11 years old. That single Reader's Digest article changed the course of his life. Rick was never chasing fame or fortune. His motivation was belief. He believed that something truly meaningful was hidden on that island. His calm personality and deep respect for history made him the soul of the series. Fans saw in him a man driven by purpose rather than greed. Even today, Rick continues to divide his time between Michigan and Nova Scotia. Though in his early 70s, he still appears on site in almost every dig season. His quiet determination has made him a modern-day folk hero, someone who proves that persistence and patience can still make legends. Off-camera, Rick lives a very private life. He avoids interviews and social media and spends most of his free time researching old maps and maritime records. Those close to him say he believes the missing clue to the treasure lies hidden in forgotten archives. As of the latest season, Rick remains as passionate as ever. He still walks the trenches, brushes dirt off wooden beams, and believes that one day Oak Island will finally give up its secret. Marty Lagina. If Rick is the heart of Oak Island, Marty Lagina is the engine that keeps it running. A successful businessman and engineer, Marty was initially skeptical about investing his time and fortune into his brother's dream. But once he stepped on the island, his doubt turned into a full-scale mission. Before the show, Marty had already built a strong career. He made his first fortune with Terra Energy, a natural gas exploration company. Later, he founded Mari Vineyards in Michigan, inspired by his Italian roots. When he is not managing excavation operations in Nova Scotia, Marty can be found at his winery or overseeing renewable energy projects. His logical and practical approach brought balance to Rick's idealism. Viewers admired how he questioned everything, pushed for data, and challenged theories while still respecting his brother's faith in the quest. Marty continues to work actively in both the Oak Island project and his winery. Mari Vineyards has grown into a popular destination in Traverse City, often visited by fans who want to see the man behind the legend. In a recent interview, Marty said, "If we never find treasure, the real treasure is the people and the knowledge we've gained." That one sentence defines him perfectly. He is the man who believes that discovery is not just about what you find, but what you learn along the way. Alex Lagina. Carrying the Lagina legacy forward is Marty's son, Alex Lagina. A mechanical engineer by profession, Alex grew up surrounded by stories of Oak Island. Instead of dismissing his father and uncle's passion, he joined them. Alex has become a strong presence on the show. He often works alongside the technical and research teams, using both logic and curiosity to solve problems. Viewers appreciate his calm and analytical nature, which clearly reflects his father's discipline and his uncle's sense of wonder. Off-screen, Alex helps manage Mari Vineyards and has shown an interest in modern treasure hunting technology, such as ground-penetrating radar and AI-based mapping tools. Though he keeps his personal life private, he represents the future of the Oak Island team. If the mystery is ever solved, Alex will almost certainly be there to see it. Dan Blankenship. Before the Lagina brothers arrived, there was Dan Blankenship. A contractor from Florida, Dan became fascinated by Oak Island after reading the same Reader's Digest article that inspired Rick. In the 1960s, he sold his company, moved his family to Nova Scotia, and devoted the rest of his life to the search. Dan was known for his rugged determination and unshakable faith. His collaboration with the Laginas became one of the most emotional parts of the series. It was more than a partnership. It was a symbolic passing of the torch from one generation of treasure hunters to the next. Dan Blankenship passed away in 2019 at the age of 95. His legacy, however, remains alive through every shaft and tunnel that still bears his name. The Lagina brothers often acknowledge that their modern exploration is built upon Dan's decades of research, notes, and discoveries. His son, Dave Blankenship, continued to appear on the show for several seasons. After suffering a stroke, Dave stepped away from television to focus on his health, but he still lives near the island and visits occasionally. The Blankenship family remains one of the most respected names in the Oak Island story. Craig Tester. Craig Tester is one of the quiet forces behind the success of The Curse of Oak Island. A longtime friend of Marty Lagina, Craig is an engineer who specializes in earth sciences and drilling technology. His calm personality and scientific mindset keep the project grounded in data and logic. While others speculate about pirate legends, Craig is busy analyzing soil composition, water tables, and underground structures. He is the one who turns theories into measurable experiments. Outside of the show, Craig runs several businesses in Michigan and co-owns Maury Vineyards. But behind his professional achievements lies a deeply emotional story. In 2017, his son, Drake Tester, who had briefly appeared on the show, passed away at only 16 years old. The loss deeply affected Craig and the entire Oak Island team. Since then, Craig has carried on his work in quiet dedication to his son's memory. Fans have noticed moments when he revisits areas on the island where he and Drake once worked together. In interviews, he has spoken about how Oak Island has become more than just a treasure hunt for him. "When we chase something that's lost," he said, "we keep a part of those we've lost alive." Those words show the depth of Craig's connection to the island and why his presence is so meaningful to the show's loyal audience. Gary Drayton. If there is one man who can make even a small coin discovery exciting, it is Gary Drayton. The British treasure hunting expert brought a burst of energy to the show that no one expected. Before joining The Curse of Oak Island, Gary was already famous in Florida as a professional metal detectorist. He had uncovered Spanish coins, ancient relics, and shipwreck artifacts along the beaches of the Caribbean. His enthusiasm and signature phrases, such as "top pocket find," became iconic among fans. On Oak Island, Gary's discoveries have provided some of the show's most exciting moments. From ancient coins to mysterious metal fragments, his work has given the team real evidence of centuries-old human activity on the island. Outside the show, Gary continues to travel the world in search of historical treasures. He teaches workshops, leads treasure hunting tours, and shares his discoveries with fans online. His positivity and love for history make him one of the most beloved figures in the entire franchise. Jack Begley. Jack Begley entered the Oak Island adventure with boundless energy and youthful optimism. As the stepson of Craig Tester, he brought emotional depth and physical endurance to the team. From day one, Jack stood out for his willingness to dig through freezing water, crawl into unstable tunnels, and do whatever was needed to move the mission forward. Viewers often described him as the spirit of perseverance. He rarely complained, even when the search became exhausting. Jack's curiosity blended perfectly with his respect for the island's history. Away from television, Jack is an entrepreneur who works in energy and technology ventures in Michigan. He continues to assist in project coordination for The Curse of Oak Island and still spends part of each year on site. Fans admire how his motivation never shifted from discovery to fame. For him, Oak Island is about legacy, continuing the dream his stepfather Craig and his friend Drake once shared. Recent interviews reveal that Jack remains hopeful that the treasure mystery will be solved within his lifetime. His calm leadership and emotional connection to the search have made him one of the most respected younger members of the team. Charles Barkhouse. Every great quest needs a scholar, and for Oak Island, that role belongs to Charles Barkhouse. As a historian, tour guide, and lifelong researcher of Nova Scotia's past, Charles became the go-to expert on the island's written history. Before the show, he worked closely with the Oak Island Tours Company, giving historical tours to visitors and maintaining archives of maps, property deeds, and exploration logs. When the Lagina brothers began their quest, they quickly recognized Charles's unmatched knowledge of local lore and his ability to connect scattered clues into coherent theories. On camera, Charles is known for his calm delivery and encyclopedic recall of names, dates, and theories. He often surprises the team by linking a small artifact to centuries-old records or forgotten expeditions. Currently, Charles continues his role as both a researcher and a consultant. He still guides visitors through Oak Island's interpretive center, ensuring that the story remains accurate and accessible. Colleagues describe him as the guardian of context, reminding everyone that every hole they dig is part of a much larger human story. Though he values privacy, fans occasionally spot him giving historical talks across Nova Scotia. His commitment to truth over speculation keeps him one of the most trusted voices in the entire Oak Island circle. Dr. Ian Spooner. Few experts have impacted the Oak Island investigation as dramatically as Dr. Ian Spooner. A respected environmental scientist and geologist at Acadia University, Dr. Spooner brought academic precision to a show long fueled by legend. When he joined the team, he used sediment analysis and carbon dating to provide solid evidence that human activity had indeed occurred in key parts of the island centuries before modern exploration began. His findings helped narrow the search zones and gave scientific backing to theories that once seemed far-fetched. Dr. Spooner's calm intelligence made him a viewer favorite. He often speaks with the patience of a teacher, explaining how layers of soil can reveal timelines and how underground water flow affects old structures. Outside the series, he continues to teach and publish environmental research. Yet he remains actively involved in Oak Island operations whenever the digging season begins. For him, the island is a living laboratory, a place where history, geology, and human ambition collide. In his interviews, Dr. Spooner emphasizes that even if treasure is never found, the island still holds tremendous scientific value. Each core sample tells a part of Earth's story, and that alone is worth uncovering. Laird Niven. No one protects the historical integrity of Oak Island quite like Laird Niven. As a licensed archaeologist from Nova Scotia, Laird ensures that every artifact is documented correctly and that the team's digging meets proper preservation standards. He first joined the show during an excavation at the suspected location of a 17th-century structure. His sharp eye for details quickly earned him respect among the crew. Laird's cautious, methodical style often contrasts with the excitement of the treasure hunters, but it's that balance that makes the show credible. He often reminds the team that history is fragile. A misstep can destroy evidence forever. Under his supervision, the Oak Island Archaeology Lab grew from a small corner workspace into a fully organized artifact preservation facility. Away from filming, Laird continues archaeological work across Nova Scotia and frequently collaborates with heritage organizations. He's also part of educational outreach programs that teach young archaeologists about fieldwork ethics and conservation. In recent seasons, Laird has become more expressive on screen, occasionally showing dry humor and warmth that fans adore. He remains the quiet protector of history, proving that science and adventure can coexist. Billy Gerhardt. When the giant excavators roll in, fans know Billy Gerhardt is about to get to work. As Oak Island's chief heavy equipment operator and site contractor, Billy has become an unsung hero of the series. He's the man responsible for moving tons of earth safely and precisely, whether it's building access roads or digging deep boreholes. His experience in construction and logistics keeps the team's massive operations running smoothly. Off-camera, Billy owns Gerhardt Property Improvement Limited, a respected company in Nova Scotia. Despite the business demands, he remains loyal to the Oak Island crew and often volunteers his equipment for especially difficult tasks. Viewers love his straightforward attitude and silent professionalism. Whenever Rick and Marty need a trusted hand, Billy is already there, ready to dig. In recent interviews, he said, "It's not about treasure anymore. It's about teamwork and trust." That simple line sums up his philosophy perfectly. Doug Crowell. Behind every dramatic discovery, someone must confirm the facts, and that's Doug Crowell's domain. As a researcher and historian, Doug spends hours combing through archives, ship logs, and government records to uncover possible links between the artifacts and historical events. Before joining the show, Doug co-authored articles and worked with local museums focusing on Nova Scotia's settlement history. His analytical mindset fits perfectly with the Lagina's data-driven approach. Doug has helped trace several key clues, including 18th-century land ownership records and documents hinting at secret tunneling operations. On screen, he often serves as the bridge between the theorists and the engineers, translating old parchment into practical next steps. Currently, Doug continues both academic and field research. He's often the first to arrive at the Interpretive Center each morning, organizing archives and scanning documents for new leads. Fans respect his quiet dedication and accuracy, traits that have made him indispensable to the Oak Island team. Terry Matheson. When drilling samples come up, Terry Matheson is usually the first person to examine them. As a geologist specializing in sediment and rock analysis, he helps the team interpret what lies beneath the surface. Terry joined the project later in the series, but quickly became a key contributor. His ability to identify disturbed layers and differentiate natural formations from human-made structures has often guided the direction of new digs. Outside the show, Terry works with geological survey projects across Canada and occasionally gives guest lectures on resource geology. Though reserved on camera, he's known for his sense of humor and calm leadership during stressful moments. Fans admire him because he represents the rational, scientific heart of the project. While legends drive curiosity, people like Terry ensure that every discovery is grounded in evidence. The evolution of the show. More than 10 seasons later, The Curse of Oak Island continues to attract millions of viewers. What began as a small reality program has evolved into an international phenomenon. Fans from every corner of the world visit Nova Scotia hoping to stand where history was rewritten. Many of the stars still participate in new dig seasons, though at a slower pace due to age and commitments. Yet their passion remains untouched. Each year brings new theories, new technology, and new determination. Behind the cameras, friendships have turned into lifelong bonds. The Lagina brothers continue to fund and direct operations, combining modern technology with the wisdom of the veterans who came before them. For these men and women, Oak Island is no longer just a mystery. It is a shared journey that has defined their lives. The fame that found them. When The Curse of Oak Island first aired, none of its cast expected global fame. They were explorers, engineers, and historians who simply loved chasing a mystery. Yet within a few seasons, their quiet coastal project had become a worldwide sensation. Fans wrote letters from every continent, some offering theories, others simply thanking the crew for keeping adventure alive. Tourists began flocking to Nova Scotia to see the island firsthand. Local hotels, restaurants, and ferries saw surges in business, and the small community around Mahone Bay suddenly found itself on the map. The cast remained humble. Rick Lagina still walked through town wearing his same old work jacket, and Marty still greeted visitors at his winery as though they were neighbors. Despite their fame, the Oak Island stars never built celebrity walls around themselves. They became the kind of public figures who felt approachable, ordinary people chasing an extraordinary dream. Over time, fame brought new challenges. With each season, speculation about their personal lives grew online. Yet most of the cast handled attention with quiet dignity. They appeared only when it served the story, not to promote themselves. Rick continued to stay away from social media entirely. His reasoning was simple. The mystery mattered more than popularity. Marty, though slightly more public, still preferred discussing engineering over entertainment. Alex Lagina began representing the next generation with poise, proving that passion and professionalism could go hand in hand. Experts such as Dr. Ian Spooner, Laird Niven, and Craig Tester also maintained academic credibility by focusing on science rather than fame. Even Gary Drayton, who embraced his energetic persona online, used his platform to inspire young treasure hunters to study history responsibly instead of chasing myths blindly. Each cast member found a way to balance curiosity, career, and reputation. Their shared belief was that Oak Island should always come before ego. As the show gained momentum, Oak Island became more than just a TV series. It evolved into a tourism brand. The Lagina brothers invested in visitor centers, exhibitions, and guided tours that allow fans to explore safe sections of the island. Souvenirs, documentaries, and licensed books soon followed. But what many people do not know is that much of the revenue goes back into funding the ongoing excavations. The brothers never treated the island as a business venture alone. Every new episode requires heavy equipment, research permits, and scientific analysis, all of which are extremely expensive. Their willingness to reinvest profits shows that for them, the search is still personal. How the mystery evolved. Through more than 10 seasons, the investigation has moved from digging random holes to using sophisticated technology such as sonar mapping, ground-penetrating radar, and 3D modeling. The focus shifted from wild speculation to data-driven exploration. Dr. Spooner's environmental research suggested that metallic deposits and human activity signatures date back centuries. Laird Niven's archaeological documentation revealed evidence of old foundations possibly linked to early European settlers. Gary Drayton's metal-detecting discoveries, including coins and ancient tools, added more weight to the theory that people had indeed been hiding or retrieving something valuable. Although the legendary treasure chest has yet to appear, the show uncovered something even more significant: proof that Oak Island was part of forgotten chapters of North American history. Old trade routes, secret societies, and maritime expeditions all seem to converge around this tiny island. Long years of digging have tested both patience and emotion. Harsh winters, failed drills, and unexpected floods often turned progress into frustration. Yet the bond among team members has only grown stronger. They have celebrated small wins like unearthing a centuries-old artifact and mourned heartbreaking losses such as the death of Dan Blankenship and Drake Tester. Each loss reminded them that Oak Island is not just a work site. It is a living memory of everyone who believed in the search. When Craig Tester speaks about his late son, the atmosphere on set always softens. Rick Lagina once said that moments like those give the treasure hunt deeper meaning. "We are not only searching for history," he said, "we are becoming a part of it." Off-camera, many of the cast members continue to gather even when production ends. They celebrate birthdays, share dinners, and still talk about theories long after filming wraps. For them, the island is family. Oak Island's place in pop culture. The show's influence now stretches far beyond Nova Scotia. It has inspired countless documentaries, podcasts, and even school projects about archaeology and history. Universities reference it when teaching about scientific exploration versus legend. Treasure hunting communities around the world often use the Lagina brothers as examples of persistence done the right way, with respect for facts and the environment. Merchandise bearing Rick and Marty's quotes sells globally, and memes about Gary Drayton's top pocket find circulate across social media every week. Oak Island has become part of popular culture because it mixes realism and mystery in perfect balance. It reminds people that wonder still exists in the modern world. Even skeptics admit that the show's contribution to historical preservation is enormous. Thanks to the series, local museums have expanded, archives have been digitized, and forgotten maritime records are being restored. Where they are today. So where are our favorite treasure hunters now? Rick Lagina still spends every summer on the island, guiding excavation strategy and reviewing new historical leads. His health is strong, and his passion has not faded in the slightest. Marty Lagina divides his time between Michigan and Nova Scotia, continuing to manage Maury vineyards and renewable energy projects while funding new research on the island. Alex Lagina plays a growing leadership role, merging modern technology with the traditional methods his family pioneered. He represents the future of the Oak Island legacy. Craig Tester still oversees field operations and engineering designs while honoring his son's memory through continued dedication. Gary Drayton travels worldwide teaching metal detecting workshops, but always returns each season to join the digs. Laird Niven continues his archaeological work across Nova Scotia and occasionally leads preservation efforts for regional heritage sites. Dr. Ian Spooner continues his academic research at Acadia University while providing scientific consultation for the team. Charles Barkhouse still curates archives and gives tours to visitors, ensuring that the story stays grounded in historical fact. Doug Crowell keeps uncovering new archival documents that help reshape theories each season. Billy Gerhardt remains the man behind the machines, maintaining construction contracts and operating equipment for the show. Together, they form a community of believers, people united by curiosity and respect for history. None of them have walked away from the mystery. They simply continue their work at a slower, wiser pace. As of the latest updates, new seasons are still in development. The team plans to use advanced geophysical scanning and AI-based data analysis to guide future excavations. Alex Lagina and younger engineers have started building digital maps to preserve every inch of excavation data for generations to come. The Lagina brothers have also expressed interest in producing educational material and virtual tours so that people worldwide can explore the island online. They want Oak Island to remain a symbol of discovery long after the cameras stop rolling. If you believe real treasure lies in passion and perseverance, hit subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and join us for more untold stories from Oak Island.